call the special meeting of the WPCA and the regular town council of North Branford to order at 6:35 PM. It is Tuesday, September 23rd. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Roll call.
Mayor Angeloni.
Here.
Deputy Mayor McMillan.
Present.
Counselor Abelson.
Here.
Counselor Diamond. Here. Counselor Goad.
Here.
Counselor Miller.
Here.
Counselor Palladino.
Here.
Okay, next item is approval of minutes from previous meetings. Do I hear a motion to accept the August 19th, 2025 WPCA and Town Council?
Motion.
Second.
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, second by Councilor Diamond. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Opposed? Abstain. Motion
I have to
passes.
abstain too, I'm sorry.
Okay, so 2 abstentions. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the September 16th, 2025 special WPCA and Town Council meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Actually, I can't motion that.
Why, you were on, oh, you weren't?
No,
on it?
he wasn't.
Motion,
on the other
I'll
one.
make the motion.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilor Abelson, seconded by Councilor Palladino. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Abstained.
Abstain?
Abstained. Abstained.
So it was Jeff's.
Motion carries. Now into the WPCA agenda. First item is correspondence, citizen statements regarding WPCA. Seeing none, unfinished business, none, new business. Extend sewer main at 286 Branford Road to 1599 Foxton Road, Section 824 referral.
Good evening. So this is because the main that's going to be connected to the Starbucks is actually going to be a town main. So we need to get the P&Z 8-24 approval to extend that main through the property that we currently own at 1599 Foxton Road.
And that work is going on currently, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So then,
Did they start it, or do they have to wait until we do this 824 referral?
They did start it already,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
yeah.
I saw it going today.
Okay, because why didn't we do this at the last meeting when we approved it, so that we did it all at once?
I am not sure about that. I don't know if the
In
planning and
August,
zoning
okay.
Didn't meet maybe in August or something, that's why we
I
weren't
think this
able
was
to.
on your agenda in August, and then it had to go to P and Z for referral, and then it came.
Yeah, but
back
it
to us.
didn't, he's saying, he just stated it's going to P and Z.
No,
Oh,
it went to
okay.
P&Z.
Oh,
No,
okay.
sorry,
Back to us.
no. It's
Oh,
already back
okay.
with a positive.
That's what I was wondering.
Sorry,
Okay.
yes, it's already back with a positive
All right, so we're
review.
good to go.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
question.
Sure.
I'm sorry, you
Yeah.
know how I feel about this.
Yep.
Is it going through 1599?
Yes.
Or is it, so wait, they changed it? I thought it was going up Route 80, in
Nope.
front of 1599.
Bruce, it's very close to 1599, but it has to go through. You can't go under the actual highway. There's 2 reasons why. 1, you can't disturb what's underneath there. 2, it's state property, we can't go underneath there. So it has to go right across the edge there. It's very close, it's getting done.
Is it going, well, hold on.
So,
Not to the
the-
edge, because
Yep.
I saw them doing this work.
Yeah.
Are they going straight across it? What are they doing?
Yep, so the site plan showed originally partially into the DOT right-of-way, which is down to about the bottom of the hill. So they are currently going right along the edge of the property line. So it's within the 1599 property, but as close to the property line as we can get. So it's maybe 5 feet off of the property line so that you're able to work on it.
Because that's not what we approved from the plans that you brought. So
Yes,
if
the
you-
plans that
we
were approved through
the
P&Z.
plans- I'm sorry.
Yep.
I am so sorry about this.
No.
We approved the plans the way it was, the way you had showed it to us, that it was right on Route 80, very
No.
close to 1599. So now it's gonna sit there and run through 1599?
No, it's not running through 1599. It's going right along the edge of the property line.
So it's going to
going-
be in the street or on the property?
It's definitely not in the street. It was never proposed to go in the street. It
Well,
was
that's not what
proposed to
there's-
go within the hillside, but not within the actual paved road area. It was within the right-of-way, which was about the base of the hill. It was partway up the hill, but it was always going to be within the non-paved area of the road right-of-way.
So then, all right, so let's take another step at this.
No.
How are they going to get to Route 22? Or is it just ending at 1599?
So we had a connection from 22 into the property, which was the original town hall.
So that's where
So
they were
there's-
digging?
Yes, correct. So they're going to be going through that right-of-way, because it's going to actually be a town main. So they're just increasing the size in that section. It was the 6 inches going to an 8 inch, and that's going right along the property line.
Okay. Like I said, I apologize, it's just that you showed us drawings, and it showed that it was running right on Route 80.
No, I don't believe there
understand
were
that it's state
several.
property.
I've never seen a plan
I
that
don't-
showed
I don't
that
have the
the,
plans
I don't
in
recall
front of
seeing
me.
it
that the
that
sewer
way
line
either.
was ever up
Huh?
on Route
I don't
8.
recall seeing it that way neither when I looked at it.
Well,
I remember it the way he said it.
Okay.
The
I'm just saying, because we have plans for 1599, and now we,
We can still do it.
That's got nothing,
Yeah, this
if
is-
anything,
It
this makes
doesn't-
it easier.
all right.
It
Now
is.
you're
I'm
putting-
good. All right, I'm done.
You're gonna
I'm
need
done.
that for that, if there's a commercial property goes on there, you're gonna need that larger main. And it's a beautiful thing.
I
It's
know.
not touching the street, that's state property, can't touch it. Lots of things underneath it, can't do it.
Okay.
And we've worked closely with the town planner to make sure that it wouldn't impact any potential development of that site.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no action on our part. It just came back and,
Yeah, I don't believe so, because it was a positive review that
Okay.
you don't have to.
okay, very good.
Can I ask one more quick question?
Sure.
Now that you've gone to a bigger pipe there, the 8-inch,
Yes.
so if somebody that's, say, right there on the corner or a little farther down wanted to connect and wanted to pay to connect or put up some other business down there, could they connect to it?
I'm not sure, because there's a cemetery right on the corner, and then you have the funeral home.
Let's say the gas station across the street says, hey, could I jump on that and I'll pay?
I
to
think they
connect."
may already be connected, because there is already a sewer main in the street in that area, so they may very well already be connected. I'm not 100% sure, but they would have that opportunity already because the main is in the road.
Right, perfect,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, the next item is application to connect property known as 20 Fox Hill Drive to sanitary sewers.
So this property is in the White Hollow sewer area, and as you know, there can be some challenges there. It is in the primary area, and it already has paid the original assessment to connect to the sanitary sewer. So this is a fairly straightforward connection of a residence to the sanitary sewer. There is capacity, and as I said, they've already paid their connection fee, so it should be all set. There is a motion connected to it as part of the application.
The motion is on page 52 of our packet.
I make a motion to approve I make to approve page 52's motion.
So you're moving the suggested motion in the packet? Is that what? Okay,
And I will second that. Yep.
thank you.
Greg can second
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Miller. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Abstain? You're opposed? Oh, okay.
Still opposed.
To the
20 Fox Hill Road?
Cuddy Fox Hill Road?
Isn't that the,
No, that's someone's house.
That's the residence connection.
oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Then it-
You had, what do you have, brain freeze from
Is
your
there more ice cream out there?
I'm sorry, I am not opposed to that, I agree.
This man needs sprinkles
I am
right
for
now.
it.
What is he eating over there?
Ice cream.
Ice cream, fish food?
Okay, all right. So motion passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe one of Bruce's nights.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
Citizen statements and petitions regarding WPCA. Okay, seeing none, going on to the regular town council meeting. Community events and presentations. None, so we will go to reports of committees, boards, and commissions. First one is Economic Development Commission.
Yes. The commission convened for the first time since June and discussed form-based zoning. to be presented to the planning and zoning, which would allow greater density, increased lot coverage, and a more cohesive aesthetic to members, and also stress the importance of defining a clear mission and identifying 1 to 3 strategies for the strategic plan with a primary focus on business retention. Next meeting is October 6th, and I'd like to thank Jessica Delacamera for giving me this update.
Okay, great.
Nicely done.
Okay. Park and Recreation is meeting tonight. They're in their meeting right now. So we will move on to Police Commission.
The Police Commission met on September 8th. The chief notified the commission that Branford has donated a 2004 vehicle/van to North Branford. It only has 13,000 miles on it, so I'm sure the police department will make good use of it. He also announced that since the 1st of July, there have been many, many seizures of ATVs. It sounds like that just continues and continues in every town. But I think that, our police department works hard to help with that. We had a demonstration of a very interesting program, a community statistics program, that people in the community will be able to go on and actually see, like how many how many traffic stops there were. It was amazing, all the different information that will be available. I don't know when, I think soon, to the community. I think the most important thing that happened that night is that the chief announced that the department has completed its accreditation, its Tier 3 accreditation. It's ahead of time, and it's something that this town should be very proud of the chief and all the other officers that worked on this to get that accreditation and to get it early. So I think that deserves a round of applause. There was a lot of discussion at that meeting in terms of the part that's the traffic authority. The police department has received a number of requests for things such as stop signs, traffic lights, crosswalks. Some of that, the police department in North Branford can't make that decision. They have to send that off to the state. And believe me, the state's everywhere these days. Every time I go down Route 22, you find something going on with the state, so they're probably too busy to answer some of those things. One request that they did get was for an autism safety sign, which the commission did approve. And that's probably everything that happened.
Okay, thank you, Marie. Fire Commission.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So they met on September 4th, and I'd like to officially welcome Chief Lennon as he was sworn in on September 4th. I'd also like to thank Anthony Esposito for all his hard work and dedication as an interim chief for the last 3 years. Thank you, Anthony. For company number 1, there's a fundraiser coming up October 4th and 5th. The boots on the ground, so they'll be here in front of this building. And please donate as whatever you can. It would be awesome. As far as company 4 goes, they have a retired ambulance that they actually have sold for $7,000. So it is gone, finally, that they approved that. And also for the month of August, the department calls, they had 3 fire calls, 165 emergency medical calls, 8 motor vehicle accidents, 4 hazardous conditions, 15 public service and good intent calls, 6 residential fire alarms, 51 commercial fire alarms, and 8 mutual aid calls. So there was a total of 214 calls, and the total number of calls for 2025 are 1,520. So please thank your fire department for all their hard work, because it is strictly volunteer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So Anthony, I think I know the answer to this question, but basically every one of those calls is responded to by multiple people, right?
Yeah, the emergency medical calls typically would be the ambulance and whatever district of town it's in, their emergency unit or rescue unit most times. The fires, I don't recall which ones those were exactly, but typically it's a multi-company response for significant fires. And the fire alarms, residential fire alarms or commercial fire alarms, it's a multi-company response as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Planning and zoning, the liaison is Tom Zampano, so there's no report there. Finance Subcommittee, we did meet, and there's a number of items. I'm not going to go over them now because they're embedded within our agenda, so we'll get to them a little bit later. Public Safety Communications Subcommittee.
Public Safety met on September 10th. We continued discussing the many issues that the fire department has had, and I want to thank the town council for your willingness to discuss it and to try to help us solve some of the issues. I also appreciate the fact, and I know that the town attorney has come and tried to help us with that. But on September 16th, there was a Zoom meeting with NORCOM, and I'm going to ask Anthony to talk about that, because I think because of that meeting and some things that he learned, that perhaps we're going to cancel the October public safety and wait till November to see if some of that thing comes to fruition.
So on the two lingering issues that we have, the pagers, you recall that a bunch of our pagers went into a disabled mode. And come to find out, what happened was the state, because we're on the state radio system, the state had a portable radio that went rogue. Someone took it and shouldn't have had it, let's say. So what the state did was they stunned that phone, or that radio, I should say, to keep people from talking on the state system. We were collateral damage to that. The part of the pager that our programming was in, zone 1, zone 0, whatever it was, when they killed that at the state level, intending to stun the portable radio, they stunned our pagers as well. So when I was on the phone with the gentleman, Dan, from the state, he unstunned them, our pagers. So that part is good. So the game plan now is, now that we have a base, hopefully understanding that the pagers themselves are fine, the template, they're going to start scheduling and coming out, and then we'll all be on the same playing field with all the same template, all the same programming on the pagers. We'll see if that solves our dilemmas. On the repeater side, on the fire ground, again, it was a limited sample. We did 10 portable radios and 1 repeater onto this new template. And the game plan, or the logic, is let's do them all, and then we'll see, again, if we're having some issues now with echoing and some other crazy things on the radio. So the hypothesis is, because we're not all on the same program, that's going to lead to some confusion of the system. So NORCOM is going to come out, and the programming for the portables will be done over the year. It's called OTAP, over the year programming, and the repeater is the same way. So the hope is that, given some time, once all this goes through, every portable's got to be updated and so on, it's going to take 2 weeks probably, that neighborhood. So we'll probably, let's say, delay that meeting, give time to get the programming on the pagers in place and the portables in place, and then hopefully, us being on the same language, the issues will go away. But we won't know until all those things happen and time to try them out and such.
So hopefully in November, we'll have some better news.
Yeah, hopefully.
And another reason why we're canceling the meeting is it's because Chief Lovelace's birthday that day, and we didn't want to.
Chief Lovelace.
Where's his cake? I should have brought him ice cream.
You see?
It's not yet.
Preemptive
It's in October.
I'll bring him ice cream.
Something to look forward to.
So the issue with the pagers, was it only North Branford that was affected?
No,
Or
it was
how
us
about,
and Norwich.
so anyone on the state system?
Anyone on the system had the programming in slot 1 or slot 0.
okay. Okay.
And the same vendor that we use programmed Norwich's pagers, and I guess that 0 or 1 is not where you're supposed to put the programming, but it was put there erroneously.
Okay,
So that's why we got stunned.
okay. All right, so we'll just,
Hopefully
to
have
be
better news.
continued.
It's a saga.
Okay. Okay, inland wetlands.
That meeting is tomorrow night, and we're still on the same topic of
Okay.
the possible subdivision of lots.
Right, okay. Blueprint Committee,
Meeting Thursday.
this Thursday?
We're back on track, meeting on Thursday.
Okay. And report from Town Center Committee, there isn't, because that's underneath Blueprint, so nothing there. Okay, moving on to Town Manager's Report.
Thank you,
General
Madam Mayor,
updates?
members of the council. Last Friday was POW-MIA Recognition Day, and on that morning, I was pleased to join with Mayor Angeloni and other leaders in the Veterans Service Commission in remembering all POWs and MIAs, including North Branford's only MIA casualty, Army Sergeant First Class James Edward Creamer, who went MIA on April 21st, 1968, in Thu Thien Province in Vietnam. Included in the ceremony held at the monument on the green next to the Congregational Church. Also present for the event were Bill Savastano, Hugh Meehan, with an invocation and benediction from Pastor Wendy Terry of the North Branford Congregational Church. Thanks to all those who attended this important recognition of those who answered our nation's call and never returned home. Town of North Branford is excited to welcome Kent Falls Brewing to the town of North Branford. I was pleased to join Deputy Mayor Jeff McMillan, Assistant Town Manager Burke, and Economic Development Commission Chair Liz Kaplan for a ribbon cutting and welcoming to Kent Falls at the location of the former Stewards of the Land Brewery. Kent Falls opened as the first farm brewery in Connecticut at Camps Road Farm in Kent in 2015. They prioritize sourcing ingredients locally with 95% of the ingredients from within 250 miles. Bringing this philosophy to Northford to create beer and experience that are local and reflective of the land and the community. They're offering the Full Pour Pils, a Northford location exclusive Pilsner, as well as Buddy Sprinkles Goes to Northford, a special edition of their IPA brewed to celebrate the opening at the Northford location. The original location in Kent will continue to offer curated tastings and flights, while Northford will feature full pours and food trucks. Kent Falls is located at 418 Forest Road in Northford. It's open Thursday and Fridays from 3 to 9 p.m., Saturdays 12 to 9, and Sundays 12 to 6. So stop by and say hello if you have a chance. We've got some additional ribbon cuttings also coming up. Hidden Kitchen is under new ownership, so we're having a ribbon cutting there with them this Friday, the 26th at 2 p.m. Their location is 2341 Foxen Road. We have Ascend Bank, which is formerly Guilford Savings Bank, following their merger. That will be September 30th at 9:30 in the morning. I Heart Homes Real Estate, October 23rd. We'll be having an event for them, 6 p.m. at 1355 Middletown Avenue. They're next to Pop Pop's Coffee. As Councilor Abelson noted, congratulations and welcome to our new Fire Chief, Richard Lennon, who was sworn in by Mayor Angeloni on September 4th at the Board of Fire Commissioners meeting at Company 2 in Northford. And I was honored to be on hand last Thursday evening as Jennifer Gurley Langdon of our Town Clerk's Office received her clerk certification from the Connecticut Town Clerks Association at their fall conference at the Water's Edge Resort. This culminates 2.5 years of work and study in the field and passing 5 modules of examination. We're proud of Jennifer's hard work and dedication, serving the residents of North Branford and bringing increased professionalism to this already excellent office. And I know you join me in congratulating Jen on this accomplishment. Later on your agenda, the confirmation of my appointment of Jennifer as our new Deputy Town Clerk will be before you, following the retirement of Suzanne Ashman this month. And I look forward to Jennifer's continued success in our Town Clerk's office. Some items from Parks and Recreation. Autumn Nights at Augur concert series is continuing Thursdays 10 through October 9th from 6 o'clock to 8 p.m., weather permitting. The Back to School Family Day is this Sunday, September 28th from 1 to 3 at Stanley T. Williams Community Center. This free event is in partnership with Beyond the Horizons and the North Branford Wellness Council. The annual Trunk or Treat is on Saturday, October 18th from 2 to 3:30 in the Stanley T. Williams parking lot, so please join us as a trunk or trick or treat sponsor. Sensory Friendly Pumpkin Patch and Sib Shop, which is a concurrent event, is Saturday, October 25th at Stanley T. Williams from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This event is also in partnership with Beyond the Horizon. And Park and Recreation has partnered with the United Way of Greater New Haven and Vertical Church to administer the Farmer to Family produce boxes for the town on Thursdays from October 2nd through October 16th. The Tutucket Historical Society is sponsoring an open house on October 4th. It's running from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. They're having 5 historic private homes in addition to the Reynolds Beers House. It's the first time they've opened up tours of this kind in a number of years. There are advanced tickets that are available at $40, and they're available at TutucketHistoricalSociety.org. The North Branford Rotary is hosting their annual shredding event here at Town Hall on October 4th, 25, from 9 to noon. And North Branford residents can come out for our leaf drop-off, which is being held at the center located at the left of the old police station around Wall Field on Route 22 from 9 to 3 o'clock p.m. On Saturdays, October 18th, 25th, November 1st, 8th, 15th, and 22nd. Please place those leaves in a biodegradable leaf bag with no tape or empty loose on the ground. or they'll empty it loose on the ground. There'll be curbside pickup of leaves, if you can't make those, in untaped biodegradable bags the weeks of December 1st through December 12th. Just a reminder, they put out a monthly newsletter that goes out the fourth Friday of every month. Next one will go out Friday, September 26th. Newsletter contains news and announcements from the town, and is a great way to keep up with what we have happening in town. There's a sign-up form on the front page of the town page and on my site on the website to receive the newsletter. Also, as a reminder, we have town emergency notifications available through Civic Ready. Residents can sign up for these by texting North Branford, no spaces, to 38276 to get emergency alerts and community notifications. You can also sign up online at northbranfordct.gov/alerts or call 475-655-0400 to sign up via phone. Notifications go out via text, email, and phone call. As a reminder, in observance of Columbus Day holiday, town offices will be closed on Monday, October 13th. As this is not a trash holiday, there will be no impact to regularly scheduled trash collection during your regular collection schedule. And we wish everyone a safe and enjoyable Columbus Day weekend, and that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. All right, now on to town manager's report regarding the Permanent Project Building Committee.
The North Branford Police Department, the balancing report on the ongoing HVAC system issue is expected this week. At that time, the third-party consultant will evaluate and make recommendations. When this is ready, we will organize that full meeting to review the results of Centec's evaluation of the HVAC conditions. And this will be held again as a joint meeting of the Council, PPBC, and the Board of Police Commissioners. North Branford High School, the punch list and closeout is ongoing. Glass replacements are in process, and completion is now expected in mid-October, and the paving there is complete. Edward Smith Library HVAC, the engineer has been selected for approval, and this is on the council's agenda later this evening. Department of Public Works building, the construction is in progress. Stanley T. Williams renovation project, the building evaluation is complete, and an HVAC RFP, is being drafted. NBHS storage building, the revised plan is in process, and foundation is planned for next month. And that concludes my report.
Okay, can you just remind Permanent Project that storage building, the NBHS storage building, when we approve that, there is a cap on that.
Yes.
So if they're revising plans, they need to know that it's $89,000, and anything over that has to come back to the council.
They are aware, but I'll make sure that they
Yeah,
are aware again.
I was there last week. They're aware of it.
so,
They questioned it.
so we're just going by the budget that was submitted, so. Okay. Citizen statements, petitions, and correspondence?
Good evening. Cliff Potter, Northford, Connecticut. Good to be back in town and live instead of watching on TV. I watched from New Hampshire last week, or last meeting, and there was some huge words passed around. Tonight, I'm ready for them. I've got my dictionary app loaded, so I can understand what's being said sometimes. Elections are coming, and I'm here every meeting pretty much. Good things. The budget hearing mess. You guys were no way to be blamed for that. The re-eval hit you, it was like getting hit by a train. You guys dug deeper, many hours were given, and as a citizen, I appreciate it. If you got blamed for anything, shame on the blamers. They never did their homework, they never talked to anybody, they just slammed you, and it wasn't right. So that part was bad. The hours you've given and most things that you needed to be done are done. Good working town council. Now, I got some bad things that they still bother me. One thing is the commissions. They're not user-friendly. How many meetings are we going to have over that Glenwood Road? They're worried about turtles. They're throwing so many things. The commission's coming at the applicant with so many things. I'm surprised he has not sued the town yet. They're just trying to do, and they're willing to work with the town. They're on a second site walk, if not three. These commissions have got to become user-friendly. The EDC works so hard, And then anybody that comes to our town gets slapped around, nitpicked, and I'm getting pretty damn tired of it, I'll tell you. But yet, they still allowed to get away with it. There's one member that says he's not comfortable. If he's not comfortable with the rules that he has to operate on, it's time to get him off the commission. I won't mention names. Just go to the videotape and you'll see who I'm talking about. It's time for some fresh blood, informed commissioners. It's time to run a class again. So that was one of the bad things. The other thing I was upset about, you've got subject matter experts, SME, you've got Franny, you've got Florio. SME means they know what the hell they're talking about. And they were grilled over the coals. I watched it from New Hampshire. They were asked constantly stuff by, you're not at their level of expertise, you don't know what they do every day, try follow them around 1 or 2 days a week, and you'll see, they are saving you thousands of dollars. And I don't think they're ever appreciated for it. Instead, they were grilled heavily, and suggestions were made that weren't properly made. Again, you put them in a position, they're working hard for you, me, and everybody in town, and they still get hammered. And I don't know how they stand it. I can't stand it. I mean, I was up in New Hampshire. I'm surprised you didn't hear me yelling at my computer from up there. Like I say, the next thing is elections. So be careful what you do and how you act in front of the public. They may remember come election day. Thank you.
Voted.
Any other citizen statements? Okay, moving on to resignations and appointments. The first one, the confirmation, is that the executive session?
It is, if the council wishes to do that. Yep.
Okay. So does the council want to go into executive session first before we appoint the deputy clerk? Do you want to discuss it there and then come back? It's later on in the meeting, because then we'll just,
I'm fine with doing that, but does everyone have to leave? Can we keep them in? Do we have to make people disperse?
what, go?
Executive session?
Well, no, executive session's later on in the meeting, so it's just, do you want to go into executive session to discuss the appointment of Jennifer to the deputy clerk? Or do you want to just take care of it right now?
Let's take care
Let's
of
just
it.
take care of it right now.
Fine
Unless
with
there's
me.
a problem with,
It follows suit with what we've
I
been doing.
don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, everything is,
It's above board, it follows suit with the director and assistant director methodology we've employed in every single department.
yeah, yeah.
Where we've talked about contingency plan throughout Michael's tenure and having that set up properly. This is just next logical step.
Yeah, so I think we can go
Okay.
right to it.
Wonderful.
So-
Again, Jennifer's worked in the clerk's office for the last 4 years as an assistant town clerk. She's distinguished herself and is dedicated in this role, and as you're all aware, I was very happy to be present last week when she was given her town clerk certification. She's worked hard to add professionalism to that office, which is already, of course, excellently administrated by our own town clerk, Lisa Valenti, who joins me in supporting recommending Jen for appointment as deputy town clerk, and I'm proud to make this recommendation to the council this evening.
Okay, so there's a motion on page 53 of our packet in regards to this.
I'll make the motion that the town, North Branford Town Council hereby confirms the town manager's appointment of Ms. Jennifer Langdon as a North Branford's deputy town clerk for an annual salary of $71,981 per year and a start date of September 24, 2025.
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Abelson. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Congratulations, Lisa. Please congratulate Jennifer on our behalf. Welcome as the deputy town clerk. So before, I know Jen was working as a was in a part-time position, so I think there just needs to be discussion with the council prior to that job getting posted and moving forward on that, given what the current budget situation is.
Of course.
On that. So, but I am happy that this is moving forward, and welcome Jen as our new deputy town clerk. Okay. Next item is acknowledging the resignation of William Della Camera as an alternate to the pension committee. Willie, it's in our packet, resigned from the pension committee as an alternate. And so we thank you. I think I saw Willie. Thank you for your service, Willie, on the pension committee. And the next is an appointment of Robert LaTorca Jr. LaTorca? Okay, sorry. LaTorca Jr. as an alternate to the pension committee. So this will replace Willie. It doesn't have the term ending on here. Do you know by any chance what? My guess is it's 12/1.
Yeah, the term expires December of '25, but I can't remember if it was December 31st.
We should appoint him until.
Okay, until the
It would-
term
it would be
ends.
It would be filling his vacancy, and Willie's term expired December of '25.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Miller. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Next item is unfinished business, use of funds from sale of town-owned properties. Any update on this?
Yes, we do have a draft document. It'll be ready to go for Finance Committee in October, if you like.
Oh, okay. All right, so there's no action tonight on that. Okay, so we'll just keep it under unfinished business. Okay, new business. Item A, proposed purchase of replacement lawnmower.
Good evening. Just a little brief on this. We currently have what we call large mowers and small mowers. So we have two large mowers. Those are the 12-foot wing decks. Those do athletic fields, the Poco Field, the shop complex there, Stanley T, Totucket Valley. The small mowers are used for libraries, Company 4, around the schools. So we lost one out of two of our large mowers last year, in 1999. We kept it as parts to keep our 2012 going. Earlier this year, our second large mower, the 2012, it's done. We diagnosed it ourselves. We sent it to the dealer, diagnosed it. Not worth repair. Parts are discontinued. It has hydraulic issues and rear end issues. So what we're looking to do, because right now, a prime example would be like the Poco Field, we're cutting that with a 5-foot mower, so a mower smaller than this desk. The athletic fields at the high school, Totucket Valley, you're talking 6-7 hours to mow a complex that used to take 2 or 3. So it's taken a toll on our grounds division. What we're proposing to do, friend and I looked into mowers, and we found a local dealership had a demo unit of a 104-inch lawnmower, so it's kind of in between a small and a large. Originally, these mowers go for $37,000. It's for sale for $18,000, and there's a photo of it in the packet. We're looking to see if we could buy this with our existing, our equipment reserve funds, which as of the end of last year had $48,200 in it. That's excess funds from past capital purchases such as plow trucks, equipment. This would require waiving the bid threshold as well, as it's $18,000 and the bid threshold is $15,000. And we have done this before. I think we bought a used plow truck a year or two back and we did the same thing. So it's all for good intentions to save money and to keep us going.
Danny, would this suffice, being that your two large are gone, and this is in between? Will this suffice what we lost in the larger ones?
It will suffice probably one of them, maybe. You will see another larger one coming forward in the capital process, probably next year.
Okay.
Yeah. But it'll help get us through at this point.
So they only have one, right? Not two available?
We have zero right now.
No, I'm just saying, but it's from the dealer.
Oh, just the
There's
one.
money in the reserves, so if they had two of them at that price.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's only one, because it's a demo unit, they call it, so it's a brand-new unit that they hand out as a demo for a day or two, and, yeah.
How much is the large one, Dan?
The large ones are well up over 100,000. Yeah.
So you'll be requesting that in the next budget?
We will be. On a positive note, we've had the roadside mower in there for the last 2 years at 160,000. We bought a $50 roadside mower. That's working out great, so we're gonna
Swap.
take that money and swap it.
Oh, so that was on the state bid, or on the?
Yeah.
Well, not
So-
state
Not state
bid.
bid, the state.
Yeah, if
The
you look
state
at our 5-year
auction.
capital, we're just gonna swap them and push the mower out, so.
Okay. I have to ask, is there anything else on that state auction that we can suffice another mower? Not to say that this wouldn't be approved, but being that you're gonna.
Not
need
right
one.
now. I have been looking, and believe it or not, there's one Toro on there that matches our dead one, and they're probably getting rid of it for the same reason. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so do I hear, there's no motion here, but, so we just need to make a motion. If someone can make a motion to authorize the purchase and to forego the bid.
I'll make a motion to authorize, North Branford Town Council authorizes Public Works Division to make the purchase of said mower at $18,000, utilizing the reserve fund and waiving the bid threshold.
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Palladino. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, the next item is award of RFP 926018 for the Edward Smith Library Engineering Services.
Yes, this item, the PPBC approved, advertised an RFP for the project. The purchasing agent received 6 responses. The review led to a short list, and then an award to AI engineers in the amount not to exceed $40,000. This firm would provide the specifications and contract monitoring for the new HVAC system at the Edward Smith Library. So if the council would like to move forward with this, you may use the suggested motion below to secure their services.
I'm okay with this. We have to get it done. Let's get it moving.
All right, it's on
Make
page
the
57.
suggested motion that the North Branford Town Council hereby authorizes the town purchasing agent to award a contract to AI Engineers of Middletown, Connecticut in the amount not to exceed $40,000 for the Edward L. Smith Library HVAC engineering services.
Second.
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Abelson. Any other discussion?
Did we have someone that was doing it before? Or no, is this?
No, there was a company that came in initially and gave 3 options. And that's how we applied for the STEEP grant. And now, to move forward, they need to have it done to come up with exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, you're referring to the HLN's report that was done, which was the report that gave us the options that we may have, the 3 different options. So it's just 4.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Next item is reestablishment of the Communications Subcommittee with the Board of Education. So we received an email from the Superintendent of Schools requesting that we reconvene the Communications Subcommittee. I did send this out to all council members on August 22nd and have not heard back from anyone. So is anyone interested in serving on this subcommittee?
I thought we discussed that we would have a rotating membership so that there was, I think that's what the Board of Ed is going to be doing. They're going to rotate the membership.
Well, the Board of Ed does have 3 members on the committee. They do have 3 members. on here. We didn't discuss this at all yet, so the Board of Ed has suggested they would like a rotating committee, which is up to them, but the meeting would be noticed, so it doesn't matter if you have a quorum or not, because it's going to be a posted meeting, and anyone can attend them. I know in this email from the superintendent, it does say meeting prior to the council meeting. I'm not sure about that, because that limits how long the meeting can last on there. Maybe the first one can be that, just so that we can set all of the guidelines and everything else in regards to that. But we do not have anyone right now on a communications subcommittee meeting. So if there is anyone that is interested, just let me know now, or you can email me.
So what would this committee be doing?
It's just to open up communications with the Board of Education, have
We
more.
have a liaison for that.
Yes, but they would like to reconvene their communications subcommittee meeting. So we might not necessarily, depending on how this goes, you might not need the liaison. Because in my mind, that's what this committee would do. We may not have to meet every month. That's up to the committee. It could be every other month, maybe during budget season, then you might meet every month. I don't know. Each side, from my understanding, would be submitting items that would go on an agenda for that month to discuss things.
So it's basically once a month?
That's what they are suggesting, but the committee can decide that. That's up to the committee. And it's also up to the committee to decide if we would meet prior to the council meeting. Because meeting prior to the council meeting, you start at 5:30, you're limited to about 45 minutes for us. And so to meet on the same night, it becomes more, it becomes more.
For some of our
Yeah.
people to make it, myself included, sometimes for a 6:30 meeting, now that we start early. You know,
Right.
So that might be a tough time
That's
for
tough.
people.
I would say.
I mean, I like the
I'll
idea,
start it,
but-
and if, whatever,
Yeah,
I'll
so,
try it.
I mean, I'll put my head in the ring to be on there.
I'm in.
I think
Okay.
we should probably have, in my opinion, maybe have three, if we need to delineate people on there, have three permanent and at least three alternate as well, so that we can rotate out. It's good to have other opinions, and I don't.
I mean, anyone can come to the meeting. So if someone's available that night, even though they're not on the committee, they can always come because they're
So
open.
we're all willing to do it.
They're
If you do it on a
open.
rotating basis, that's fine.
So,
It's only be temporary for a couple months anyway. Elections coming, so who knows?
right. So,
Well, it'll only be one meeting, and then we have no idea.
so,
But the public can attend that meeting anyway, anybody
Yes.
can go there anyway.
yes, yeah.
Anytime you want, really.
Yeah.
I guess so.
There you go.
Yes. So, okay. I will respond to the
Quiet on this,
superintendent
I wonder
tomorrow.
why.
That will,
Why are you quiet on this, Marie? You're the liaison to the.
She's a pretty busy lady.
I know she is. I know.
what? Well, she's on a lot of committees.
know.
yeah.
Involved
Don't
right
put her
now
on
in
another one.
negotiations.
Yeah, she's, yeah,
There's a lot.
I know that. I'm only
yeah.
kidding.
And this committee may not start until after elections anyway, because we only have.
Could be, we might not be here, who knows?
Right, so that's a good reason not to start it until in November, because you don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah, that makes
And
perfect sense.
their members may also change that are on the committee, so we can definitely hold off until after the election, and just move forward at that time. So, okay. All right, next item, Company 4 renovation update. I asked to have this put on the agenda. This is a CIP project that we approved maybe 2 years ago. Three?
22, 23.
The 22-23. And this, from my understanding, was to renovate the kitchen, and there was $20,000 appropriated for this project.
That's a second appropriation. The 20,000 was in 24-5. for the kitchen.
For the kitchen. Right, so isn't that what?
Right.
So that's what we're talking about, is the update, the renovation to the company for, just because I think it just started, or I don't know if it's finished yet, but it's in the process. So, because it was just a renovation to the kitchen, it was not sent to permanent project, it was just basically replacing cabinets and countertops and appliances. But from information that we received, I believe it's over budget. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so who exactly is in charge of this project? Because it's not permanent project. It's, I don't know, I don't think it's Public Works because it's not theirs. Ultimately, is it Fire Commission?
It's
How much was
Public
it?
Works with the Fire Commission. This is how I would characterize it.
So I guess the question is, how did it go over budget and who's paying for it?
Well, there's two pots of money. There's the 20,000 that you referenced was the LoSiP project in 24-5. That was for the kitchen. There was the initial one that I referenced, the 65 for the roof project in 22-23. We spent 34, and there's a laundry list of things at that building that have not been addressed since it was built in 2003. There's stucco repairs needed, there's siding that's damaged, there's the metal door frames that have rotted out from the salt around the building. So the consensus was that we were going to take the money that was left over from that project and address some of these other capital items that are repair items basically that have not been done at Company 4, again, including the siding repairs, the stucco repairs, some money towards the kitchen project. You're right, it's over the 20,000 that was originally budgeted as the separate standalone project. And that's where, again, there's still the stucco and the door frames and the siding have not been addressed yet. But they're in need. I could get some pictures for you to show you the different items that are in need of addressing up there.
Well, that's fine, but I guess my concern is that there was 20,000 appropriated for kitchen renovations.
Right.
And we're over, and money is spent, but there's been, I haven't seen anything come back to the council or heard anything come back to the council stating we're over and we need more money and this is where we're getting it from. So the money was just spent to do all of it, and I'm not saying that it wasn't necessary, but that wasn't the scope of the original project. And then nothing came back to us. And I checked Fire Commission meeting minutes to see, was it discussed at a Fire Commission meeting anywhere along the line? I couldn't see anything. And I know the new chief is here, but he kind of walked into this.
They mentioned the renovations at the last meeting, about that it was moving forward. That's all that was mentioned as far as what was going on. Not like how much work, what kind of work, it was just in the process. That's all that was mentioned in the meeting.
Okay.
But shouldn't it be like where the extra money from that roof project, if that's where it came from, shouldn't it actually kind of come to the council?
You're 100% correct. I'll take the hit for not
we're gonna
following
use
the
it?
process. You're 100% right. They should have came back with an updated budget with the funding sources delineated. I'll take the hit for it. You're 100% right.
So I heard something about the women's sleeping quarters, that they wiped it out? Did they
No.
wipe out those women's sleeping quarters?
No.
Did they move the women's sleeping quarters?
No, there's a third bedroom there. There's a third bedroom.
Oh, okay.
There was talk about moving the office back over, but they made that, the third bedroom now is a combination bedroom / Company 4 office. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but, you know.
Okay.
Okay. So how much are we over budget?
I would
Like,
say
how
we
much
use
do we have to?
35 as a good number. I mean, the 33 that's on this sheet, there was some additional lumber that was purchased, there was some additional saw blades. You're probably gonna be 35 when all is said and done.
Okay, so if the CIP was 65 for the roof, and we have roughly 30,000 left because we've spent $35,000 on there, so is your proposal to use 15,000 out of that
Correct.
30? So we have
Correct.
$15,000 left
For other repairs.
for other repairs.
Like those doors and
The
stuff?
doors, the stucco,
Stucco.
the siding that's damaged.
And do we have any idea what we're thinking that's gonna come in at yet?
I don't think Dan, do you have prices on that stuff yet?
On the stucco
Yeah.
siding, no, we don't.
No.
Nope.
And the doors that need, like, all of that stuff, does the fire commission, I know Mr. Savatello is here from fire commission. Have you talked about any of this stuff? Do you have a list of the stuff that needs to be done?
This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what needs to be done so that we can fix, finalize the kitchen renovation? And it's more than kitchen because it went into bedrooms and their general area, it seems like, and everything else. So it's not just kitchen. It's internal stuff there. So is there anything that needs to be done now to,
Do you think we have an idea think that money will cover it, we have left over from the roof? Will that cover everything that's gotta be done to that building?
I don't know.
We haven't got any prices on any of that stuff yet. I was thinking so. We'll have, we have to review it.
Okay.
That was way back when 22, 23, when they did this roof, so. We did get it pressure washed, I think, right, Ian? It was
Correct.
pressure washing that was done, but the stucco's minor stuff. The doors would probably be I don't know how many doors, are they all the doors?
Probably 2 or 3 of the frames are rotten out.
That's gonna be expensive. We'll get a price for it.
So Fran, you guys are actually doing all the work?
We did some of it. We were gonna do it in the winter, but it just didn't work out, so we did the demo
Yeah.
stuff and some patching walls, and we had the cabinets put in, and the flooring was put in, that contract.
The members of Company 4 did the painting inside. We bought the paint.
So maybe we can get like some sort of ballpark of what it's gonna cost, and maybe we can approve using the money that they have from the roof work? Left over from the roof, if it covers it?
do you need any approval today to finish the work that you're working on right now? The interior, kitchen, all that stuff to move forward with, to finish,
I'd make a motion if you're so inclined to move the surplus, 15,000 of the surplus funds from the 22-23 roof project towards the kitchen renovation project.
do I hear a motion to move that motion? Do I have someone to move that motion that Anthony just stated? To move 15,000 from the 22-23 CIP roof project to the kitchen renovation project?
That seemed like something the council might wanna do.
I don't know, but,
My only,
Unfortunately, the
if we
work has
don't.
been done.
Well, yeah, but if we don't know going forward what it's
That's kind
even
of
gonna cost, isn't it
Yeah.
a little?
Can we?
well, the
Sure to
well,
start
they did
moving?
have the kitchen, that renovation, there,
This is known, that would cover the
that
gap on
stuff
what
is,
we have.
is
Right.
all bought. The
Appliances.
the appliances are bought, the cabinets, the countertop,
and that would cover all that?
flooring, all of that
The 15,000 would cover it.
Would cover that, okay, okay. I thought it
would
was-
cover that part of it.
This is a 15K not to exceed? Or are you looking for more afterwards?
Well, we don't know how much more we're gonna look for after, because Public Works has to get, for all the other items, they have to get pricing on that. But to finish the interior work,
Finish
That
the
would
approved
take care of
part
that,
so
and then-
far.
the
Yeah,
15,000.
and then going forward, what they should do is bring forward
What's
the
gonna cost
prices
for
and
it.
everything, once they have that for your action,
Yeah.
Correct.
to modify.
Yeah, we want to see an updated
CIP,
proposal and
yes,
some
right.
prices. We can't approve things without having.
What it's gonna
that's
cost to finish it, right?
Our job.
Yeah,
Right.
yes.
So I'll second Anthony's for the 15,000.
Well,
you
you're
have to
you're
make
going to
a
move
Motion,
it.
Walter. Motion.
Anthony just made the motion, so he had a suggested motion, so you're going to move that
Yes, I'll move
motion?
that motion.
And is there a second?
I will second that. You know, I just don't like the way this came about to us tonight. You know,
I think that's where we're all reluctant about doing this.
I mean, I'm not saying that it wasn't gonna get done, it had to get done.
Right.
You know, and
No one's saying it's
unfortunately,
not
sometimes
necessary, but-
when they start working on something, it's like anything else. You start taking things down, you start seeing more and more and more repairs that have to be done. At that point is when it's, hold on a second, we gotta go to town council, we gotta get this approved and get this one. But I'll make this motion, even though I'm not too happy about it, but I'm gonna.
Second it.
Because they need something there.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay. So the motion was made by Counselor Goad, seconded by Counselor Miller. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Reluctantly.
Opposed?
This is-
Abstain? This is only for the kitchen part, and Public Works will be coming back to us with the exterior, door frame, stucco, any exterior things that need to be done, siding repairs. They're gonna come back with that cost to us.
Can I say something that's not on, kind of the same subject as this, but as a council and as, I think when we approve a project, and we say it's gonna be, we approve a project for, say, I'm just making up numbers, $5 million. So if we approve something being built for $5 million, that should be the number that we approve. So if you're gonna go build it and we approve the project, and 6 months later you find out that, oh, it's not gonna be 5 million, it's gonna be 5,500,000. So, well, that means instead of getting your 5,000 square foot building, your building's now gonna be 4,500. In other words, when we approve, this is kind of the way, you know, because some of our bigger projects, everything that we approve always gets added onto. So if we approve a project or approve a chunk of money, it should be, that is what you're getting. So don't, if, you know, if it's a $7 million project, don't come up and say it's gonna be 7.5, 8. Start at 65 and build it, because when the time comes, that's what you're getting. You know, because it seems like, of course, prices go up, but it should be, you know, and it's always, oh, well, while we're at it, you know, it's another $1,000, but it would cost $10,000 if we do it later on. Oh, no, everything just gets on, everything that comes before us is always piled and added onto. So,
And that's why we made the motion we did for the
Right.
athletic storage
Yes.
building, that there is a cap on
yeah,
it.
that is the amount.
And there's a process, and the reason the processes are in place is to keep this from not
Right.
happening
But
as
I can understand how
fiduciaries.
something can happen.
Of course
You
something
know,
can happen.
but
Right.
There's
I think
circumstance.
what happened is, when did we approve this? When did you approve this?
22, 23.
That was
Well,
3 years ago,
No, that was the roof. 24, 25 was the,
so we did it for last year?
yeah, pretty sure.
But I'm just saying that
So that's a year ago.
in general, it should be that way.
No,
So you're
yeah.
getting approved 7 million for a project, you probably should start at 6, because you're only gonna get 7. Because it can't always
Yeah.
just be 7, oh, it's 8, oh, it's
can't
8.
do
But I think a lot of what
More.
happened over the year is the prices have just like
Right.
skyrocketed.
Right.
And that we can't, honestly, we can't control that. But I get
That's
what
what
you're
I'm saying, you
saying.
gotta start lower then, because the
Yeah.
only money you're gonna get is what was approved.
Well, obviously, it doesn't work that way, so.
That's,
I mean,
well, I'm
they're
trying
coming
to
back
make a
and
statement that I
more,
feel,
so.
Yeah,
I know in real life it
Yeah.
works that
You
way
can't
with
do
our
that.
own homes.
That's kind of.
You get a proposal, proposals come with a time period that they're good until, if you're gonna start, you have an anticipated start date. If it's going to go beyond that start date, you come back to us. We can, for the foreseeable future, if there's a project that we don't wanna see get higher, then let's put stipulations on it.
Yeah.
This proposal, this approval is good until X, because it's on us. So every time we approve something, and we let it go higher, it's on us, because we're saying yes to it. So from now on, if we want to mitigate that, we're going to put an expiration date on something and say, this motion carries until X. And then if they need to go beyond that, or a project carries on and we don't get to it, it has to be reapproved. That's how budgets
Okay.
work.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, can I make a comment?
We just need to take a vote. Well, we didn't vote on this yet. So Motion is on the floor. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, we're just going to move on to, next item is renewal of the Auger House Agreement. This is with the Board of Education. And at the last Board of Ed meeting, there was some discussion about some work that had been done at the Auger House. And when I looked up the contract or the use agreement, because it's not a lease, they do not pay us anything, so it's not called a lease. It is a use and occupancy agreement. I noticed that it had expired in June 30th of '24. The town attorney has updated, and everything is essentially the same, except the date was changed to 28. I see that. Is that it? Okay. So, same agreement, just changing the date so that it's.
So we're doing a 3-year, or is it 1 year?
No, it's until June 30th of 2028.
So it's 3 years, okay.
So shouldn't the motion conclude that date in it then?
It does. No?
No, it doesn't, but we can add it to it. Are we okay if we
We
make
talked
a
about
motion?
this
Well,
last year.
We talked about when we put it together.
Yeah.
But now we're just pushing it forward because it's still in use.
yeah,
and
the
still
last
being
time
used
it
for a
was
great
in
program.
22.
Fantastic
I'm
program.
good
It's-
with that.
So
Yes.
I'm make a suggested motion that the North Branford Town Council authorizes Town Manager Michael P. Downs to sign the renewed use and occupancy agreement for the Auger House with the Board of Education on behalf of the town with an expiration date of June 30th, 2028.
Second.
Motion has been made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Diamond. Any other discussion? Just so you know, at the board meeting last week, the superintendent did mention that he is looking for some other space to use for this program, so I'm not sure
Yeah, I was
how.
gonna ask, what do they use it for?
Their school-to-work program, so it's the students that graduate, but there's special ed students, they're IEP, so they have to provide education until the age
It's an
of
awesome
22.
program.
So,
Awesome program.
so they use it, and it's getting them out into the community and working, and they actually have started a few different programs there. I know they make dog treats and sell them and things like that. So I'm not so sure how long they're going to be in there, but this would allow them to be in there. And if he finds some other space and moves, then so be it, but
I think that would be an interesting agenda topic for the first time we get together, because we don't really know what's going on and what
Right.
they're doing.
Yeah.
I think that
Have
would
no
be a
idea.
good
Yeah.
topic for discussion.
Right.
Do you want me to suggest, to change my suggested motion to add in there, to June 30th, 2028, or otherwise?
Well, there's a provision in the agreement that either party can get out of it.
I thought so.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
that's part of it in there.
Burns and rain.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Tacky seat.
Okay. Next item, participation in new national opioid settlement, Alvogen, Amneal, Apotex, Hikma, Indivor, Mylan, Sun, and Zydus.
Yes. So this is yet another opioid settlement we're being offered to participate in. It'll be the third one. To participate in it, just need the council's authorization. Town attorney's reviewed. We recommend allowing us to participate in this, and as a result, being able to benefit from the resulting claim.
So this essentially essentially gives us funding. There's not really any,
Yeah.
other than signing our name to it.
No exposure or
No
risk.
exposure, okay. There's no written motion on here, correct?
There is a motion
Yes.
at the bottom of the memorandum.
Let's see,
on this.
Oh, here we are, I'm sorry, I missed that. I wanted to go when we're done.
Um,
wait, did you?
Suggested motion that the North Branford Town Council authorizes Town Manager Michael P. Downs to sign the participation form to participate in the national opioid settlement with Alvagen, Ammonil, Abadex,
I really just put
Tekma.
those there because I wanted to see you guys
Thank you.
pronounce all of those.
Endeavor,
names.
Mylan's
Yeah.
son, I know that one, and Zydus, and received a distribution from this
I will
settlement.
second that.
Motion has been made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Miller. Discussion? So you said this is the third one?
Yeah, we had a second one that was before you, just last month. And then before that, we also had a standing.
Well, is that the one from the state that we get? Like, that
Not
had
the
like.
last one.
No, the one
we
before that
have
was.
standing, yes.
It trickles down, the money comes to the state and then it's distributed under that umbrella.
Yeah.
Do we know how much we're looking at between the three so far? I mean, no, we only have the two that have been
We
figured.
really only we haven't seen anything from the second one, and we just authorized that a month ago, but.
Correct.
But the first one, which comes from the
First one, we have the
state.
standing, it shows in your budget, I don't know what the term.
I can get a number
tally
for you,
is
how
on
much
it.
we got so far.
And if, when those monies come in, where are we housing those monies?
Those go right into a fund
Called the
designated
opioid
for it.
fund.
Okay, so
But-
anything that's used has to come through us, correct?
Yes.
It can't be used appropriated for
Correct.
some other
And-
project.
And the
Well,
council
I
has
know-
approved previous uses associated with the Wellness Council, and also has used it for salaries associated with the police officers that are associated with the state program that has to do with that, and it offsets the cost of the officers.
Yeah, statewide narcotics task force.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you say that we received some already, or no?
We had like
yeah, we have it.
$100,000 from 2 previous years.
Correct.
In the fund. So have we transferred the money that we authorized for, okay, because I know we have to submit reports as to how we've used this money and if we've used it.
Next report is due at the end of this month.
So where is it now?
So
In that account.
I would suggest that we probably do that to show that we've used some money, otherwise, because if we,
We don't want to claw it back.
if we continue not to use it,
Well,
we will not receive, because
I
they
understand.
I just have
will.
a question, when that 100,000, were we notified that that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in the budget.
So
It's in the
I'm
budget.
going to
Shows
work
up.
with.
We authorized money to go to the police department. That
Yes.
money never went to the police department?
Not yet.
It hasn't been
We
transferred,
haven't
I
transferred
guess.
it out yet, but it's been authorized by the council, so when we submit the report, yes, it'll be in the report.
To transfer it
Transfer it
into,
into.
Yeah.
into
Correct.
the police budget, because it'll have to go in his salary. That's what we authorized it for,
Yep.
was to go towards
I
salary.
just don't recall.
Because it hasn't hit your pocket yet.
No.
Well, it doesn't, so, okay.
And I will be reporting, coming to the council in a future meeting, hopefully. I would like to work with Chief Lovelace on a program that we've discussed to possibly look at expanding, span of exposure within our schools, like we had back in the day, when I was growing up with
Similar
deer.
DEER program or something
Yeah,
like that?
in a, possibly a school resource officer or something like that. So nothing, has been baked yet on this, but something that I'm passionate about working on with our chief and other folks within that department. And, I think it's an interesting thing to think about, given the landscape of America right now and some of the things that are going on. I think exposure in the school system would be, above and beyond security. So this would not replace security whatsoever. I love what has been done with that in North Branford. I'm proud of North Branford for doing that, but something to consider, and we'll talk about more in the future.
Okay. So the motion has been made and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay. Next item is elections. A, gifting of voting tabulators to the town of North Branford.
Yes, so on this item, as you'll recall, the state authorized a lease agreement. The town agreed, the town council agreed to sign that lease agreement. Subsequently, the governor signed Public Act 25-5, which allows the Secretary of State's office to gift the tabulators to all of the towns. And following the enactment of that measure, we were sent notice of the termination of that lease agreement. So as a requirement of receiving these tabulators as a gift, there are two documents that need to be signed, a municipal electronic voting equipment agreement, and the Elections System and Software LLC hardware maintenance and software license maintenance and support services agreement.
And there's no funds that need to be exchanged.
No. These are being turned over to us. The only funds that would need to be exchanged are, of course, because just as under the terms of the agreement, we're responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of these tabulators. And so this is before you
Basically
tonight.
counts our votes, Mike? Machine that counts?
It's the machines we have now.
Yeah, it's the
They're just
11
getting new
tabulators
ones?
that we have.
No, they're giving them, so we're leasing them right now. We're actually paying for the lease to utilize them. They have to
They're
be
giving
utilized
them to
for
us?
municipal election. They're gonna.
It's a
the
dollar,
state is
it's a
gifting.
Units
dollar
we
lease,
use,
so.
Whole new, they have a new vendor.
Yeah.
And all these are non-negotiable, we're going through this with every town.
Yeah.
They're giving you the machines, but you have to have them maintained
Yeah.
for like 5,000 a year or something.
They purchased the hardware, we
They switched,
maintain.
they switched equipment.
Yeah.
This election.
So there is a motion on page 75 of our
I make a
packet.
motion that the North Branford Town Council authorizes Town Manager Michael P. Downs to sign the municipal electronic voting equipment agreement between the Secretary of State's office and the Town of North Branford and the Election Systems and Software LLC hardware maintenance and software license maintenance and support service agreement between Election Systems and Software LLC and the Town of North Branford in order to receive the previously issued 11 voting tabulators as a gift from the state.
Second.
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Abelson. Any other discussion?
What if you said no?
I think the town attorney just told us it's non-negotiable.
You've seen unfunded mandates.
Yeah, Mike, go sign it.
It's a formality.
Yeah.
At least we'll count them by hand.
Yeah, no hanging chads in North Branford.
Okay, any other questions, discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, so the rest of this, I think, is just the actual document. Is that the only motion? The rest of this
That
is,
covered both.
They covered
That
both
covered
both
both
documents,
of them,
yes.
okay.
So that is also B, A and B?
Yes.
Okay, a little bit confusing on the doc here.
Trying to
Okay.
consolidate.
I like it.
All right. Next is household hazardous waste, Laidlaw Environmental Services Settlement.
Yes, Madam Mayor. This item, the Southern Connecticut Regional Water Authority was given an opportunity to settle a liability that they had. It was associated with the Phillips Services Corporation for waste that it sent to this facility via Laidlaw. It obligates South Central Regional Water Authority to pay $13,078. So dividing that among the participating towns, North Branford's share would be $817.38. The settlement terms relieve South Central Regional Water Authority and our towns from any potential further obligations related to the suit. And if the suit should go forward, it's likely there'd be a larger expense. So their attorney has advised this, their board has reviewed it and approved it. Our council has reviewed and recommends authorizing the signature of this for remitting $817.38 to Hasway Central for the Laidlaw Environmental Services settlement.
Okay.
There's a motion on page 94.
The North Branford Town Council authorizes the payment of $817.38 to Hasway Central for the Laidlaw Environmental Services settlement.
Second.
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Diamond. Discussion?
Take it from the Has Waste, other contractual account.
Okay, I was going to ask where that,
Yeah, should I add that into the motion?
Yeah, please.
Okay, to add to my motion, please addend onto that the, what are we calling that account? The hazardous
The
waste?
Hazardous Waste Department's other contractual account.
Other contractual, okay, as stipulated by the finance director. Do you have a number on that account?
Stand by.
Mike, can I ask you a question? Did that actually affect the town of North Branford, this, whatever happened?
Well,
Well, you're
Our-
responsible because you're a generator. Part of your waste, along with the region, went out to this landfill facility. The person who's responsible, the generator of the waste, where it came from, is ultimately responsible for the disposal of the waste. And the vendor picked by Southern Connecticut years ago is not in business. And bottom line is there was an environmental circle the site.
Right.
There's an environmental responsibility for the site. They're going back to all the municipalities and corporations that generated this waste to begin with. So it ultimately is your responsibility if your vendors do not handle it correctly and dispose of it correctly.
So is it like, what kind of, is it just regular garbage, or is it like
And this, what was this?
contaminated
was
waste?
Kind of contaminated waste going out there that was generated here in the towns. And the site's contaminated. The question is, it's a cheap way to get out of potential big liability. That $800, you're gonna spend a lot more.
But this absolves us from further.
Correct.
I know we haven't finished the motion. We'll just talk
Department
about this.
8401, account 55990.
As stipulated. Okay, no, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Me too.
No, that's the same kind of question, so I take it as something that happened years ago.
Yeah.
The date, it's in your packet here, I can pull up the date.
$800 gets it over.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
A good
There's a lot of
$800.
documents
Yeah.
in your packet.
Over and done.
Yeah, you really got, it's the largest paper item in the.
In the package.
$800.
Yeah.
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 Just get it done.
Looks
Yeah.
like it was somewhere between 1980 and 1999, so, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
I was in school.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, next item, administrator benefits. This was a finance discussion, several finance committee meetings. So this is finally coming forward to the council.
Excuse me.
Just trying to get to. Here we go.
Page 155 it starts.
Okay. let's-
Thank you. This has wasted, it's pretty large.
Yes.
Okay, here we are.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So Mike, do you want to just recap this?
Sure.
For us?
So this year, the administrators group requested 3 items that have been under review over the course of several meetings at Finance, as the mayor mentioned. They had to do with longevity, years of service relative to vacation payout, and then the payout of sick leave on retirement. These requests are detailed in the memorandum from them that's offered in support of this memo. You can see their memo concerning it. The Finance Subcommittee voted to advance to the full council 2 of those items. The vacation, removing the restriction that administrators have 10 years of service to be paid up to 5 unused vacation days at the end of his or her anniversary date of hire. This is requested as no bargaining unit in the town has such a restriction under the collective bargaining agreement, and is a restriction that's currently only on the administrative group. And the second one, sick leave, increasing the maximum number of sick days that can be accrued from 200 to 300 days, which will be paid out at 25% upon retirement. This is a change to their request of 400 days. In my meetings with the administrators, I noted I'd support 300 days before the Finance Committee, but not the 400 days. And the administrators agreed to that. So those 2 items were reviewed by Finance. Finance agreed to forward to the full council those 2 items. They elected not to advance the longevity requests to the council.
So essentially, this gets, as you well know, the administrators are one of the only factions that are not underneath the collectively bargaining agreement. And these were 2 areas where they came back to us and asked for some adjustment. The Finance Committee had adjudicated what they were asking, and made, kind of negotiated towards what we thought was a fair settlement. And this is what we came to bring to the full council, to make it more in line with not only what the other departments and areas have, but also within kind of the landscape of other careers, like careers. Rose, you want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, it's like on the vacation pay, they would get paid out for vacation time. The thing that we're removing, or they have requested, is that they have the 10-year service requirement in order to get 5 unpaid. If they have 5 days leaving, that they can get paid up to 5 days of vacation on there. And so they, if they're here more than 10 years, they're going to get it anyway, so it's not an additional benefit. The benefit is that they're the only group that has the restriction of they have to work 10 years before they can get paid unused vacation days, and only 5.
And what percentage do they get of the day?
25. Or no, that's for the sick leave. This is full. When we're talking about the vacation days, it's full value of the vacation days.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're capped at how many vacation days they can earn, which I believe we were told the max is 25 days, correct? And that's someone that's been here a very long time.
So you could save 25 days?
No, you could get paid for, they get paid based on their anniversary date. So if they didn't have the opportunity and they have 5 unused vacation days, they could get paid, they could ask to be paid for, they would just get paid for those 5 days. Otherwise, they would be forced to take them, and they would still get paid for them. So
Yeah.
we're not saving any money on it.
We thought it was an attractive retention tool, attraction and retention tool, that did not expose our budget tremendously whatsoever. It's already somewhat money's built in, and if someone is not utilizing their time, which we hope they do utilize their time, because vacation's clearly important to decompress, but if they don't, and they have, they're here and doing their job.
And it's a matter of parity. They're the only town employees that have that restriction on them. All the other town employees in the bargaining groups can do it without the tenure.
So basically, they're, whatever vacation days they don't use, they get paid for?
Up to 5.
Up to 5.
Up to 5?
Up to 5, yep. Up to 5.
Pretty fair.
Yeah.
So take them off,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think it's right, but, I mean, they accumulated the ones they get paid for, but that's my opinion.
Well,
That's
I
what-
agree with you.
That's what this does.
I agree.
Yeah. The other one on the sick leave, increasing, is there, I don't know if was this changed? Was there some other provision in some personnel or benefit document that the admin have? Is there anyone grandfathered in right now under sick leave that they get the full?
Yeah. What'd you say?
Okay, Lisa, do you want to come up and just, since,
There are a bunch of people, probably.
So grandfathered is not as far as this provision, you mean overall sick time? That's the
yeah,
question I want to
on the sick leave, because you're looking to, the request was to, on the cap, increase it from 200 days to 300, originally 400, but back down to 300, so increase.
Yeah, that's for, in 1991, the town, and it's townwide, it's not just administrators, it's everyone. Well, not Board of Ed side, town side. They changed it. It used to be, prior to 1991, it was, if you were here and you were, you could accumulate 200 days, it was always the 200 days, you would be paid out 100% if you retired, and 50% if you left in good standing. In 1991, the town changed that to keep the 200 days. Anyone hired, I think it was July 1st of 1991, a lot of the towns were, coming back down on the sick time because it was too expensive. And what they said, anyone hired July 1st, 1991 forward, you could accumulate 200 sick days, but the buyout would be if you retire, it's 25% you get paid for. If you leave within good standing, it's 10%. So this request for the administrators goes to that portion, the 25% and the 10% only, not anybody that's grandfathered. It doesn't touch any of those. I'm the only administrator that's grandfathered in. This does not pertain to me. It would not increase my 200 days. This is for the section. That's why in the proposal, it cites the particular section of the administrator's policies to show the distinction between the two. And then townwide, that I know of. Jim, your grandfather did?
Mine's set by the police CPA.
Oh, you're separate, okay. I don't know about the PD. I think there's got to be at least 3 or 4 other people, I think. I'm not positive, Anthony.
It's 2
could-
clerical and 1 public works.
Okay, I was close. So there's only 4 of us that are grandfathered in, prior to 1991, in a
Okay.
different category. So this would pertain to just the administrators, everyone else.
So the new request increases that 100 days?
Well,
25%.
but they
It's-
don't, they.
Right, the
the-
payout is 25% or 10%.
Right, so it increases the amount that they can accumulate.
You can
But-
essentially, so this actually ends up saving you money. you
Yeah,
think
because
about
if
it,
they
right?
took all the sick days.
They can
you'd
take
be
the
paying
sick
them all.
days, they can come up, I can get a doctor
Yeah.
in 2 seconds and
Yeah.
take the, this way here, it's an again, another attraction and retention
Yep.
tool,
Mm-hmm.
which actually ends up saving you money by having people in-house versus utilizing the
Outside,
doctor's
right.
note and getting paid in the full at 100%.
Yep.
It
But
makes
it-
a lot of sense.
Yeah, so the additional 100 days, going from 200 to 300, it would be, if they retired, it's an additional 25 days, or an addition, if they resigned in good standing, it would be an additional 10 days.
It's not,
I mean, that's, everything before that they have
Mm-hmm.
is already in the agreement.
The 1 librarian
How
also.
long would you have to work here to accumulate?
I knew there
300
weren't
days?
many,
It
I
says right
wasn't
here,
sure.
It's-
20 years
So
without using
basically
a single
5
sick
altogether,
day
Anthony?
to get 300
That's a
days.
good employee.
yeah, it really is. Think about that. It's a good employee.
That's a good employee.
And these are things that we can do to keep good employees.
That's a
and-
good
and-
employee.
Somebody missing out on a lot of time off.
Yeah.
I mean, sick days, yeah, that's a good employee, so.
Okay,
That's why we suggested the motion to go forward.
so there's 2 suggested motion, 1 for each proposal. It's on page 158.
I'll make those motions. The North Branford Town Council authorizes the amendment of the administrator's benefit package to remove the restriction that administrators must have 10 years of service to be paid up to 5 unused vacation days at the end of their anniversary.
Second.
Motion has been made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Goad. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Second motion, that the North Branford Town Council authorizes the amendment to the administrator's benefit package to increase the maximum accrual of sick days from 200 to 300 days to be paid at 25% of his or her accumulated sick leave upon retirement.
Second.
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Goad. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
I abstain.
Motion carries. Okay. Next item is administrator salary ranges.
Madam, this obviously comes from finance as well. As you know, we are reevaluating to stay on top of salary ranges for our employees. We are looking at the subcommittee's request to modify the presented ranges. The ones before you are calculated by Consumer Price Index, and this was referred from the May Finance Subcommittee to advance to the council for your review.
Okay, so on this list here where it says 2025 salary, is that the salary prior to reviews with the town manager?
Yes, that's prior to this year's merit review raises, yes.
Okay.
We have to approve this now.
Yes, this does not approve any raises or anything. All it is the salary range that is used
We're approving the
by,
logistics.
so that if any positions open, they go by this salary range chart.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if there's, and the salaries that are listed there, doesn't mean that we're not approving that they
This is
get.
the ranges they're gonna use.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
And the reason that they did this is we agreed that, because the union contracts, every time they get raises every year, that's built into their contract. But if we don't adjust this salary schedule, we get right back into the old problem that we had, where the compression rate, that gets very close, because the other ones are going up and we've done nothing with this. So at a prior meeting, we agreed that we would do a CPI adjustment on the salary ranges so that we can keep this more up to date.
Yeah, we don't want to continue, like, last time, if you remember, we did this and we had to make wholesale changes because we were so behind the eight ball.
Yeah, it's an outcropping of the HRO study that was done
Yeah.
for the council, the consultants. And it's just making sure that after they've done that work, that we stay on top of those ranges and make sure that they stay in tune with where they ought to be.
It allows Michael Goldpost to work off of.
So,
Let's check and go to.
and I believe there is a motion.
Gotta turn this back around.
There's a motion at the bottom of the memo.
Yep.
Okay. As long as everyone's in tune with this, I'll make the motion that town council adopt, oh, it's the wrong one.
Should be the town council approve the administrator's salary range.
It's on page 160.
The updates to these ranges.
Okay,
will be
I'm
made
ahead of it, it was
based
before
on
it for some
CPI.
reason. Okay, the town council approved the administrator's salary range as presented, and the updates to these ranges being made annually based on CPI.
Second?
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Diamond. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, next one is position change, Account Clerk 1, Tax Department.
We've got item K, Madam Mayor, criteria for retirements of sick time.
Oh,
payout.
sorry, yeah. So criteria for retirement sick time payout. No, this is like, Rory, would you like to come forward and just kind of explain? This is a little bit different than what we just did.
Correct. So historically, you just reviewed the language for sick time payout. It's 25% upon retirement, 10% upon separation in good standing. So it begs the question, what is retirement? Historically, retirement was tied to the pension. And so if a pension application was submitted, somebody would be retiring. Because we've moved away from the pension, the question is open. And it would be better to come up with a policy in advance than to figure it out when something arises. So I went through all of the town policies looking for age and service requirements related to retirement. And so that's what's on the memo in front of you, is all the various ages and service durations that are required and what they represent.
Why 55? Normal retirement has gone up. Why aren't we following like what a 401K would do? We followed the pension prior, and we're in a DC plan now. So normal retirement age, it would be 59 and a half.
Yeah, I was going off of the existing town documents.
Okay.
And I put a suggested motion in, figuring you might want to change the numbers, but just to give you a structure.
Didn't retirement age go up to 62? It's not 59 and a half anymore?
It's still 59 and a half within a retirement plan, but there is conversation of it going to early retirement with 62.
Is there a required age that somebody that works for the town has to retire?
What you might run into is somebody who is leaving employment with the town who submits, instead of resignation letter, they say, I'm retiring, because it would entitle them to 15% more payout. So just by defining what retirement is, you can avoid that situation.
Yeah, the 62 you're talking about is
Yeah.
when you can take benefits.
No, just as a
Security.
question, I'm
No,
saying,
just as a
I'm saying, somebody reached, does the town have a rule like that? I know my wife's involved in the school system, and there's some people that they just never retire. And basically, they basically should retire.
I believe the police department, don't you have a mandatory?
Yeah.
They have a mandatory
Theirs is different
retirement.
because theirs is
It's like
predicated on.
60.
Yeah,
Yes.
bona fide
No,
occupational
I think it's
qualifications.
65 is,
Yeah.
Don't you do it by years? Or is there an age?
Mandatory retirement is 65
So-
for
so-
police officers.
So do we have an age?
For the police department.
No, that's
The
why
police
I'm,
do.
yeah, so, like, you cannot withdraw from your 401K before a certain age, right? But theoretically, someone could retire before that.
Sure.
There's nothing stopping them from doing that, and so.
Baseball
by-
player can do that.
By creating a
Yeah.
policy, we kind of nip that argument in the bud, and you say, it only qualifies as a retirement if you meet the criteria that we have established.
But Roy, I'm okay with that, I think that makes sense. But this number is derivative of what we've looked at in the past, it was derivative of the pension plan, which was 55, right? We no longer, for the most part, partake in the pension, it's a dwindling resource which has now been replaced by the defined contribution plan. What is, and I think I know, but I'll refer to you to tell me, what is in our adoption agreement defined as retirement in the 401K
With the
pension?
401?
401K.
65.
Is it 65? Is that 59 and a half for early retirement?
65.
65 for retirement age in the DC.
I'm surprised to hear that, actually. It should be.
65.
I'm seeing 59.
I thought it was 59 and a half. It might be.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that.
No.
So if we actually put a restriction on somebody who works for the town of North Branford at 65,
Mhm.
that means they have to retire at 65?
No.
No.
It just means
No, no.
they cannot claim that they are retiring for sick time payout purposes unless they meet the criteria that you
Correct.
establish.
You can't be,
So I,
20 years in the job and
right.
48 and retire.
When the request first went to the finance committee, this was an issue that arose. Well, what is retirement? And so I put together a memo just laying out what already exists in town documents as a starting point.
That's a
Yeah,
tough
to be
one.
clear, this
What
was
is
the
really
Finance
retirement?
Committee requesting clarification, and this is
Correct.
what we arrived at to provide that.
Are we sure it's 65 in the adoption agreement? I'll go grab it. Yeah, if you don't mind, just quickly. Early retirement, derivative of what the Department of Labor stipulates is 59 and a half.
Yeah, but that's early retirement, but that doesn't include, if you put it at 59 and a half,
You could take your benefit.
you can take your benefit. Honestly, personally, I think 60, depending on the individual, but I think 65 would be a number.
No, you can't do that.
Well, that's what you're asking for.
No, you can't, depending on the individual, you can't do that. That's
The
discrimination.
purpose for what you're doing, just so you know, is for the two resolutions you just passed.
Correct.
You're
Right.
changing the pension
Has
plan.
has nothing to do with
Correct.
whether
Yeah.
someone's able to retire or
Yeah,
has to
it
retire.
ju-
You're
it just
setting a number.
defines.
You're defining a number for these
Correct.
people, so
And-
they can sit there and say, I'm retiring. Well, you haven't reached 65 yet, so you can't get.
No, that's not what it's doing. That's not what this is
Different.
for.
There's one thing retiring under your defined benefit plan. This just says, if I've been here, what does it mean for me to get administrator benefits?
The 25% payout as opposed to 10.
What we just
And then vacation
approved.
time, you have to retire, but you have to say what is.
Yeah.
you have to
If
define
I, as a
retirement.
30-something-year-old, say that I'm retiring from the town of North Branford and I'd like 25%,
Yeah, it's-
unless you have criteria established, maybe I am retiring, maybe I'll never work again, you don't know that. But if you set an age restriction, you say you have to be a minimum of 55 years of age and have worked for the town a minimum of 10 years to collect that benefit, otherwise you separate with the 10% in a good standing
You
separation.
should define that somewhere, it's not defined, that's what we're.
It's just defining your sick
I know, I
sick day
understand what we're
payout,
doing. I get it. I totally get it. So, I mean, it's
which
just,
you
we have to
just,
come up with a
which
number.
we just approved.
I don't think we just approved to do that. I think if we have built it off and it's derivative of the pension plan prior, and we are no longer using the pension plan as our main mode of retirement funding vehicle, and we are using the defined contribution as our main funding vehicle for retirement, then we piggyback off of what is on the adoption agreement.
My only recommendation would be to add a service component to it as well.
Of course, yes, I agree with that as
Just so
well.
somebody's not hired at 64, works 1 year, and, you know.
Correct, I understand that, and I agree with that as well.
I could do that now.
All right, let's hear what he says, and then we'll come back to this.
Yeah, 65 is normal retirement. But it says not less than 55.
That's the SPD?
Hmm. Yeah. No, this is the general one.
That's the plan, Doc?
Normal retirement age shall be age 65, and then in parentheses, not less than 55, nor in excess of 65.
So
That's
at
different. That's for
65, you
benefits.
do the 25%,
I
and
see
not
that.
less than 55, you do the 10%, right?
Thank you. That
Can
may
you
not
do
be
that?
what I'm looking at.
If you're
Everybody
claiming
gets
retirement.
10%.
Oh, that means everybody.
You separate in good standing. If I resign and move to another place, I'm eligible for 10%. It's about whether someone can claim they're retiring.
You need to pick an age for them to get the 25%, because retirement is not defined, so. I may
That's
say
what I'm
retired
saying, we need to pick a number, pick a number.
Right.
Is it- What's the number?
It's gotta be an age plus a service component. So that makes sense.
But if we pick a number,
And this is the money purchase plan, correct?
Yeah. It's the 401A.
This is the 401A?
Yep.
We don't have 401K, right? It's 401, just
401A.
Wait. Need more time to think about it, that we just
No,
put it
I'm
on the
just- I'm
agenda
just saying, pick a
and
number.
bring it
Let's
forward,
pick
or
a
you
number.
just pick a number? I mean, I don't know what's wrong with 55 and 10 years of service,
No, I
as
think that's fine.
suggested.
I mean,
because
if
not
it's-
everybody is really doing, people don't, I mean, unless you're independently wealthy or you have
You're also
health
armed.
issues, you're retiring when you're 55.
There was, I've just seen it where, and Brian may remember this, at another municipality, there was an employee who was about to be terminated, who qualified for retiree medical. And so they submitted a retirement before we could serve them with the termination papers, and they got retiree medical.
Smart.
Good for them.
And so, to avoid that issue by setting criteria, you can just
Was either,
nip
So
it in the
what do you
bud.
recommend?
The memo has 55 years of age and 10 years of service, but either one of those numbers can be modified.
That's the number.
Yeah, it does indicate in here 65, no less than 55. I'm fine with 55 as well. There's nothing that stipulates early retirement, so
Okay. so
that's
the-
fine with me. All to do
55
about
and 10
nothing.
years?
Yeah.
Does this change any of the language, or you just put it on paper with clarifying a little bit more? Is that what you're basically-
Yeah, again, I think when the provision was written, it was tied to the pension, which had definitive definitions for retirement, so we're just kind of
Police
recreating
plan
that.
in there.
I'm sorry?
You're referencing like the police DB plan in there, and you said it's for the town employees, but you have the police DB plan.
Well, no, he just gave,
Examples.
those are references
Right,
of
well, that's
what it is
basically-
now.
okay.
Yeah. For those particular plans. All right, so do I hear a motion that the town council adopt a minimum age of 55 years with 10 years of service as the definition of retirement?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
I will second.
Okay, the motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Palladino. Any other discussion?
You're not 50.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay. Next item is position change, account clerk 1, tax department.
Everybody makes fun of my office, I know where it is.
Okay,
Did you clean it?
so Rory, you want to get up and explain this one to the council?
Sure. So this originated as a request from the union to reevaluate one of their members' position. So currently in the tax office, we have two employees with the title Account Clerk 2. One is full-time, one is part-time. In the classification plan for the clerical unit, we also have 3 account clerk 1s, 2 of them in the finance office, and 1 in the assessor's office. So because we got this request, we took a look. None of the account clerk 1s are required to be certified. The current full-time account clerk 2 is certified. She's a certified tax collector. And so the idea was to create a new position, account clerk 1 tax, which would presumably be filled by the full-time account clerk 2 as the only internal qualified candidate at an increase of about 55 cents an hour, I believe. And then we kind of create parity between the departments, and we modify the job description to require that they either are certified coming on or become certified within a certain period of time, and increases some of the other duties and responsibilities in the office as well.
If I could, the point that makes me in favor of this is, you know, the driver for me and what I brought before the Finance Committee is, this is a way to, in the tax collector's office, you know, pursue that succession capacity that the council's policy has been, and certainly I've been pursuing since I've been here, in that we have somebody who is more of an understudy for the tax collector. We certainly can't make this person an admin. That's a no-go with the unions, obviously. If you're going to move her into an admin post, you lose a union post, they're not going to go for it. But this is a compromise way to achieve essentially the same result. They'd be a union employee, but with the certification, they're able to step in. And the individual that this relates to did step in. As you know, we had a vacancy in the tax collector's office for some time, and they were the principal person who was working and filling that gap and that void. So
So it's going to be an MOU between the union and the town?
No, it does not have to be an
no,
MOU.
this is-
We would
this
create a
is-
new
Create
position.
a new
Create a new
position,
position.
so if they create a new position, that's a created position in the union contract, correct?
It already exists in the classification plan as account clerk 1.
Yeah.
We're not, so it's just.
So,
And the union,
I'm talking to them.
Oh, my apologies.
and the union agrees to this.
Yeah, the union
So that's
requested
what-
this.
That
Yeah.
was going to be my question. So it's already created position in the contract already. It's just one you got to get filled, and you guys are just changing the language a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, they don't have we don't have account clerk
Right,
1
we have-
tax.
yeah, we're
They're
changing-
specifying tax
Yeah, we're
department.
changing this one to be a
They
specific.
have an account
The
clerk
the
1.
way the classification
The union
plan,
president's already agreeing to this, you're saying?
Yep.
yeah,
So, as an account clerk tax 1, they're not certified.
as 1, they would be certified.
So
2 currently,
Two is not,
Yeah.
1 is. Okay.
and that would be the idea. We're also kind of separating the part-time and full-time positions in the office.
So if we lose, we change the language, and the account clerk tax 1 leaves, retires, whatever, and the account clerk tax 2, or 2 tax, wants to take over the 1 and is not certified,
They can't.
They have to get right.
No, the way the job description is written, they don't have to come in certified, they have to become certified within a period of time.
okay, thank you.
And at finance, there was also question as to whether our labor attorney has reviewed this about past precedent setting, and there is a letter from the attorney
So I
in
remember
there.
we discussed that in finance, we were concerned. about
Right,
that.
and there is a letter from Chris Hodgson saying that it is not past practice.
Right.
And we can do this without waiting because our question was, why don't we just negotiate this in their next contract?
To make sure it was
And
checked.
that was the answer to it. So there is a motion.
I'll make the motion that the town council of North Branford approve the job description as presented.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Abelson. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Next item, police extra duty. First item is administrative charge reimbursements. So this is stemming from what the council had approved several years ago on POCO charges for the admin fee that is charged on the invoices.
I don't see it in the scan.
Yeah, I don't, it goes to 13N. Let me see what's here. It's not in our packet.
Yeah, we have it. It is 13.
No, it's 13M. The document that the mayor provided me today is in your folder, and then.
But that's for the second item. That's for B. The first one is the POCO, is the administrative charge reimbursements, which was for the high school graduation and
2025 festival, yeah.
and POCO.
You want
which-
to jump out, I'll make
That's
copies.
that's the second one.
You want
Yes,
copies?
so we'll go to the second one, which is in your packet. There's some information. So the second item is police protection at sporting events. So I was talking to the chief, and he has been gracious enough to sit through our whole meeting for this. So it is up to the chief of police, it is at his sole discretion, what sporting events police officers need to be present at and how many. So in our packet at our desks, there is a spreadsheet that the chief did. This was for last year. And they only had officers at football games and hockey games. So the difference is that, and I'll ask these questions to Anthony when he comes back. So they're billed, when an officer goes to a sporting event, they are billed with the admin fee, which is around 70-some% on top of the police officer's wages. So I would like to propose that we don't charge them the admin fee. Because the admin fee, first of all, for a town department and charging the admin fee, if it's an officer that is in the defined contribution plan, the admin fee has nothing to do with that officer whatsoever. The pension is automatically, it's paid at a set rate. It's only the officers that are in the defined benefit plan. And they arbitrarily came up with this number, and it keeps going up because the defined benefit plan, every year the actuarial number changes. So we're up to 72%.
Which is nuts.
Which is absolutely insane. So for there's 5 things that the council approved back in '22 that if there is an admin charge, it gets paid out of the police extra duty account. And it's POCO, the Memorial Day Parade, the tree lighting, graduations. We did not do sporting events at that point in time, but I think we should come back and revisit that and include sporting events so that the schools do not have to pay that admin charge. If they're billed for it, it would get reimbursed through this police overtime account. The police overtime account from last month when Anthony gave us the numbers was approximately $300,000 in that police overtime account.
Does that affect the police officers does that take any money out of their pocket? or
No, absolutely
Any
zero.
way, shape, or form?
You don't want that
No.
to happen, no.
No.
I've
Chief, can
mentioned
you-
this numerous times before, and I was trying to explain to everybody
That's-
what was happening.
Right.
And then Rose brought it upon me and explained everything to me that this was coming about from the chief's direction also, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so the officers get their contractual rates, there's no loss at all to their wages as far as it goes. It's just, we're double taxing ourselves and budgets are tight, so
Okay.
it would help out the other departments that would be billed.
Wouldn't you state that maybe it even makes it easier for an officer to be hired for an event? And this
Yeah,
is
I mean,
very
there's always
important.
questions when budgets get tight, right? Where can we cut expenses, right?
Yeah.
And that's, police security always comes up as one of those.
That's very
That's
important to
set
have
by
it.
statute, by General Statute 7-284, which falls under my office, so, depending on the sporting event.
Sure.
I decide that.
Does this help in keeping, of hiring the police officers on the town and not going outside of the town to bring in if you needed them?
Yeah, I mean, generally, the sporting events are handled by the officers in town. If there was another event which the state statute covers, then we still have the flexibility to hire officers from the outside, depending on what the event is. So you don't really want to limit yourself there, but this account would have nothing to do with that because it'd be those towns billing us for those services, so we couldn't control that.
So Anthony, the question on the police overtime and the administrative fee, I know this has come up numerous times, but those invoices we'll just focus on town groups.
Okay.
Okay, POCO, sporting events, public works, wherever the case may be where we need an officer. Those invoices are generated by us, by your department, after the fact, after the police officer has been paid.
Correct.
So you know the police officer that took the job, did the extra duty, and whether they're in the DB or the DC plan, correct?
Correct.
So why, if on let's take a sporting event, you have two officers, they're both DC, why would we charge them the administrative fee for?
Because we have there's one extra duty rate.
Yeah.
It's not bifurcated between DB and DC people. It's an extra duty rate that's spelled out in the contract. It says this is it's just one extra duty rate. We can make split rates, again, as we get to the point now where the count is becoming more DC versus DB, we can do an average of the 0 and the 50 or 60 of everything now.
Well, these invoices that were just generated for POCO for
Yep.
this year,
Yep.
the extra charge is totally separate. It's not part of the rate.
Correct.
Yeah, because
So why would you charge that if it's a DC person?
because they're not coded, even though
Yeah.
we know
Yes, they
that.
are.
No, but we're not coding them in the billing system.
In the billing, exactly.
So
In the
they're
payroll,
coded.
they're counted as a DB, DC, but in the
Correct.
billing for the extra duty, there's one extra duty code.
There's just one code to it, no matter what.
Right.
We can
Well,
dual code
they're
it.
coded right, I see their names on the invoice, so what do you mean they're not coded?
No, in the billing system, it does not code. So we would have to stipulate in the billing system for extra duty,
Right.
the differentiation. Yes, it's coded as who the person is. So yes, you can essentially do that, do the extra
Right.
manual work on it, which should be done. I think we should probably do that.
So basically, the
I'm saying
town's
that's
being
why it
double
hasn't been
charged?
done.
Well, you're charging town departments an enormous fee
Correct.
that doesn't even, like, if it's a DC person, someone in the defined contribution plan that goes and does the sporting event, you're charging way on top, and they're getting no benefit. They aren't getting that in their pension.
Right.
We're charging, I don't know what the rate is now, it's up to 70-some%.
72.
This information Jimmy gave us from last year, the chief, this is at 64%. So as you can see from here, last year, just in the sporting events, the savings to the town or to the Board of Ed would be approximately $5,000 by not charging them the admin fees at all, and just charging.
But if it's a DB person, though, then you have to charge the admin fees.
Yeah, but then we can come back and do it,
Reimbursed.
add it to the category that we take it out of. It would come before us to approve to take it out of the police extra duty fund.
Yes.
Is there a different rate for different,
What's that?
is there a different rate for different things that you do in town? In other words, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
looking at the rate
There's a nonprofit rate,
for POCO, and then I'm looking at
That's,
the
that's
rate.
set by their CBA has a specific rate set for folks.
Right, and this rate is higher.
Yeah,
So is this the rate going forward?
because there was an exemption in the CBA specifically for POCO at a rate. It was a negotiation between the union and the town.
Okay.
So because is the Sunday rate higher than the other rate?
Not for security. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only,
I'm jumping between the two here, yeah. So if you're talking sporting events, it comes under a security rate. That's a set number per their CBA. For POCO, it's defined depending on the days, so.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, that's fine.
that was negotiated last contract.
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay, so I would like to suggest that I guess to keep it simple for the person that does the invoices, if there's a set rate and it includes the ridiculous admin fee, then everything would come back to us to approve so that they don't pay the admin fee for sporting events. That-
I think the best way to look at it is the money that's in the police extra duty fund is being generated for the most part by outside vendors.
Correct.
That the officers are going to work. So even the money that if you were to elect to extract it to cover these funds that were normally being charged to let's just say the Board of Education, we use that as an example.
Yeah.
They're really not being funded by the town. They're being funded by the officers working the extra duty jobs that are getting paid by outside vendors.
Right.
So if possibly looking at it that way, it's a no cost to the town, but it keeps the money in the pocket of the town departments because money is valuable when you have tight budgets and things that we've gone through, so.
Yes,
If that makes it a little bit clearer.
yes. So I would like to propose that we add high school sporting events to the list of
I agree.
items where the police extra duty fund can come before us to get reimbursed for the admin fee that is charged on there. And I would like it effective at the beginning of this school year. So to go back, you know, I think they only had one football game so far
Yep.
on there, but retroactive to the beginning of school, August 27th, 2025
I agree with that.
on there.
So this is the suggested motion here?
No,
No, this is not.
that's
This is
POCO.
actually
That's
just
the
POCO.
that's the second item.
Okay, that's-
There is not one for POCO. There's not one for the sporting
So
events.
We can.
We're just going to add it. The easiest thing is just to add
The motion is
it.
to add athletic events in the town of North Branford to the exemption, is it exemption list? As
The reimbursement
reimbursement
of admin.
Exemption of admin, yeah.
The only other department in town that's really affected by it would be the Department of Public Works when they do their road work, their bridge work, the things of those nature, so I just threw that out there, yeah.
So if you want to add both of
We
them.
should have Public Works too. They don't really hire
It's,
as much.
it's the same concept, that it gets, the officer gets paid, it gets billed to them, the rate gets added on,
What
and
about
then
if they
is
have
it a higher charge coming out of the
It-
same town
Let's say if
department?
the East Haven officer at.
They're-
Run-
That's separate, they
They're
bill
different,
the
right?
town, that's,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so this would, can we, well, we could, if we add that, should we stipulate that specifically to a North Branford officer being utilized?
This is all North Branford
It doesn't,
officers.
yeah, it doesn't matter anyway, because that bill is being generated, so we have no control over that
Okay.
anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
understand.
So do you want to,
All right, so I will amend my motion to also indicate Public Works, I guess, roadwork, or just Public Works officer need.
yes.
Works for me, yeah.
Okay.
You can clean that up and make it sound legible. Yeah.
I'll wordsmith it for you.
Yeah.
So the motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Goad. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
I abstain.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go back to A, administrative charge reimbursement. So this we did this at the last meeting, and it was for POCO 24.
Correct. This is 24, 25.
And this is 25. This is this year's, just so that we can get it all done, and it's not sitting out there for so long. So this takes into account the administrative charge for POCO for the 25 POCO, and it also includes the high school graduation this past year in June, because that is one of the events also.
All right, so, be it hereby resolved that the North Branford Town Council instructs the treasurer or finance director to transfer $11,767.39 from the police extra duty fund as follows: $11,379.03 to the Potato Festival Fund 2872 for the administrative piece of the 2025 Potato Festival extra duty invoice, and $388.36 from the Police Extra Duty Fund to the General Fund, Fund 1000, for the administrative piece of the 2025 NBHS Graduation Extra Duty invoices.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Abelson. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Next item is approval of 25, 26 through 30, 31 capital improvement plan, because the 824 was returned from planning and
The
zoning.
final step in the CIP process, you have the memo from Dave Perkins that planning and zoning favorably voted to approve it.
All right, so.
So they just puts it to bed.
Be it hereby resolved that North Branford Town Council adopts the 2025-26 through 2030-31 capital improvement plan pursuant to the favorable review by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
Motion was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Diamond. Do you have a copy of the CIP in our plan or not? In our,
Not
no.
here, no.
Okay, I just have a question in regards to how it was handled for the paving project for TVES, because there was $200,000 under fund balance, which was from our original budget
Right.
hearings, and then the additional approximately $95,000, because we had cut $50,000 that was originally there. So what category is that $95,000 under?
It's in other funding, and I think I had referenced it in my memo just above the suggested motion. The only outstanding item relates to the funding for TVS paving project, namely if the Board of Education is going to allocate some funds towards the $95,000 shortfall. I have not heard.
Right, because they have not taken any action on it yet, at all. So under that other funding column, does that,
It's closed out capital project funds on our side. But I could certainly
but
wait
is,
until they act and.
well, no, I don't want to hold up any of the other things that are on the capital plan and prevent paying anything else if we don't approve this
Right.
tonight.
I can move the 95 from the closed capital project. If they come forward with money, we'll just reimburse that pot of money. We can make it work.
Okay, but other funding, would that include Board of Ed funds? Like, under that,
will, yeah.
under that heading,
Yeah, it could certainly include that, yes.
so that 95,000, is it all closed-out capital projects?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're saying you want to move it forward, so I'm saying I'll take the whole 95 from closed capital projects. If they come forward with money, we can just put that money back where that money came from. Or do you want to hold off?
Well, I don't know, because I don't remember any motions coming before us, closing out capital projects and going and reassigning them to a project. So don't we have to do that?
Right, you will. The next meeting, you'll have the motion to close it out, to move the money in accordance with this. But I was, again, it's that chicken and the egg, what's going to come first? Are they going to, we're going to put the whole 95 from other closed-out projects, or do you want to wait until they come forward with money and then do the balance?
Well, our next meeting, Their board meeting is before our next council meeting, so we can see if they take any action at their
Okay.
October meeting. So right now, we can just keep it under
Other funding.
other funding, because that encompasses Board of Ed.
Correct.
Correct?
You are correct.
All right. And then this takes care of the shortfall, Robin
Yeah,
Lane, so we
yeah,
can
yeah,
take
yeah.
care of all that
That's
payment
gonna
and
get paid
everything?
this week, yes.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions in regards to this motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, financial report for August 31st.
Financial report, it's 2 months into the year. It's very, very not meaningful numbers. Tax collections, just about on target with prior year, 52 change. Total revenue, 44.5, 44.9 last year. Again, just about identical. On the expenditure side of the house, you'll notice some funkiness. That top line, that consolidated cost center, this was an attempt that we're trying to hopefully streamline a lot of the processes, and it's still a work in progress. There's some items that are in there that may not be living in there permanently. We're just trying to figure out what makes the most sense to kind of streamline the whole approval process and get it up there. That's why that number is showing way overexpended, because again, there's a lot of items that we're trying to figure out what's going to end up in that department versus in where it lived forever. Again, just trying to figure out a way to streamline the system. You notice the street lighting on halfway down too is showing, 589% overexpended. Street lighting is one of the things that got moved up to that consolidated cost center. So some of the items that are in there don't belong there, they belong up in the top section. So it's going to be, this is a year of transition where we're moving things around, and bottom line, it's going to be good, but so there might be some bumps along the road as far as how we allocate certain things, but we're working again, to make things easier and expedite the process and streamline things. In total, the report's unremarkable. There's nothing really, at the end, 2 months into the year, it's nothing earth-shattering yet.
So how come under mayor and council, amount encumbered is a negative amount?
Let's see.
Everything else is, it's the only one that's the second line from the top.
Yeah, I got to see where my thing is.
I don't know how you get a negative encumberment.
Yeah, it's a neat trick. I'll get an answer for you.
Okay.
So do we have a list of anything that's overextended in department budgets? Like for each department, do we have anyone that's over budget or anything, less of any,
The only thing that's overexpended is that top number, that consolidated cost center. Again, we tried to lump things like cell phones, electricity, things that are really non-discretionary items into that department. And again, it's still kind of a topic we're trying to refine.
So we don't have a list of overextended budgets?
Negative. There's nothing overexpended. Just that one number, but it's not truly overexpended because it's just trying to get a hang. No, everybody's.
Okay. Next item is appropriation transfer.
Just trying to go through the numbers at the end of June, wrapping up loose ends, trying to get we gave departments till the end of September to get all their POs closed out and everything else, trying to expedite the closing process. So I went through all the departments and made some transfers to clean things up. Some of the larger ones you'll see on there, I think, let's see. Like the fifth, let's see, where is it? I went in and did that item we talked about with the police, on the very last page, I'm sorry. The balance of the DB money was 145, so that's going to be transferred out towards the pension fund to help offset the low funding. Some of the other big items on that last page, 25,000, the self-insurance deductibles, they're budgeted in the insurance department, but they function as an operating transfer out, just moving the budget. The ambulance subsidy, again, we budget in the ambulance department. Truly, it's an operating transfer out, moving the budget to coincide with that. Some small work that Recreation had done by Public Works moving the money to cover that. And again, same thing, that the bottom one there, recreation and central services, both of those had some work done by Fran, and this just moves the money to cover those.
So I have a question.
Yes,
So
sir.
you have money being moved into pensions. When does that money get moved, if we approve it?
It'll get moved
Does it get
this
moved
week.
right away, or?
Yeah.
And
I'll
what's
have it
right?
wire it.
I'm sorry?
I'll have it wired this week.
This week?
So this is actually an additional payment into
Right.
the DB.
No, that's what I wanted,
Yeah.
because, you know, if you
The
say it
sooner you
now
bake
and
it,
then
yes.
you make it later, then you're
Yeah.
losing
Yeah.
Investment, yep.
Yeah.
investment and stuff.
Yeah, now that you guys have approved the transfer, or will approve the transfer.
So that brings up a question I have too.
Yes, sir.
And now, but earlier we were talking about that, the statewide money for the $1,700. Where's that being deposited to? From the CSP?
Statewide money.
From the state police?
The opioid.
Yeah, the opioid fund, yep.
Yep. It's in the reserve fund. There's an opioid pot in the reserve fund.
It goes back, Jimmy said that it would go back into the opioid fund. So the opioid fund, we're taking money out, we approve money to go towards salary of the officer. And then the months that we get money back, the $1,700, right now, Jimmy said that he would put that $1,700 back into the opioid fund.
That's where it's gonna be deposited?
That's where it comes in, yeah. It's wired from the state into us, and then it gets
And
deposited
that
right
doesn't
into.
show nothing on here for that, though? or is it-
No, opioid, that's a separate fund.
Okay.
This is just general fund you have in front of you.
What is the huge credit to workman's compensation? It's $110,000.
Oh, yeah, that was,
You recall last year, there was the issue where our agent looks at things in total, and the insurance account was overexpended for a good portion of last year, and it was just a matter of the budgeting. He budgeted between the workers' comp, he counts it as insurance. We break it up between the insurance department and the benefits where workers' comp lives. That's why there was a huge there was the over expenditure last year on this side, on the insurance, and there was a savings on the workers' comp. He looks at it as one number, our agent, but we budget it separately between the insurance department, which is where the property and casualty and automobile lives, everything else. That was over expended most of last year, and the savings was on this side, on the way we budget it versus how the insurance broker.
But they're all separate policies, they're all
They are.
broken down.
He prices it, he kind of gets the numbers and looks at it as one. Overall, it's year over year, it was a savings, year 24.5 versus 3.4. So he was happy that we had savings, but we showed it the opposite way. We showed that we were overexpended all last year in the insurance
Well,
department.
it could be savings depending on what he puts in for workman's comp
Right.
salaries and the rates that you're getting
Right.
and your experience mod.
Our experience mod, another point that was mentioned was, historically, we were rated with the Board of Ed. We had one pool for workers' comp. They split out, and we had our safety meeting last Wednesday, I think it was.
yeah.
And our claims have been really, really good. So you're 100% on target. Our mod rate and everything else has been favorable. That's why we have the savings on workers' comp.
But
Number of claims is low, and the mod rate has been reduced.
But have we been audited yet on our workman's comp policy?
We have not audited 24/5. We're just got
Does the policy year run the same as our fiscal year?
Yeah,
On there?
yeah, fiscal year.
Okay,
So they have not audited 24/5 yet, no.
okay. All right. And, well, I see there's a huge deposit for retirement contribution DB. What is that for? Most of that credit for workman's comp is going towards retirement contribution DB. So what did we
Yeah,
under
I
budget?
think, I see what you're saying, 107?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that, I mean,
I think it
that,
might have been a coding between who's DB and who's DC, but I can get the answer to that one for you, too.
I mean, because that looks like a budget error. That
Yeah.
we were short $108,000.
Right,
in DB.
right. We'll get an
Um,
answer on that one and the other issue about the negative encumbrance.
Ambulance subsidy.
That's the one we vote every year. That's what we, on the ambulance subsidy.
Yeah, we budgeted in the ambulance department to show the expense of running the ambulance, our contribution, but it actually is an operating transfer out to the ambulance fund. That's why we're
Okay.
moving the budget down to how it actually lives in life.
Okay.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the appropriation transfers?
All motion is stipulated.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion for the appropriation transfers was made by Deputy Mayor McMillan, seconded by Councilor Abelson. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. And the next item is early voting grant.
Yes, Madam Mayor, this is a late ad, and it's for us to approve receiving a $10,056.07 early voting grant from the state of Connecticut, which is required to be sent back to the state, our approval by September 30th.
And what does this pay for? What is it used for, Lisa?
It's for the registrar of voters, and like the last one we received
was
last year,
supposed to
we
be.
have a choice of what we can use it for. They gave you certain categories, so I put every single category on this so that the registrars can choose. It can go for supplies, equipment, salaries, anything to do with early voting, though.
Oh, okay.
It's only the early voting days.
Oh, okay.
So, but early voting ballots, the salaries, any equipment we use, if we had to do a maintenance for one of the tabulators, we could put that in. Supplies, everything. I put everything in there so they can pick and choose what they use, but it has to cover only the early voting days.
Okay, and so what would you, this $10,000 we're getting from the state, what would you say, what percentage of our early voting does that cover?
That I wouldn't know. I'd have to
Okay.
ask the registrars that.
Oh, okay, I was just wondering. I don't know
Yeah.
how much early voting cost us.
Right, and they have those figures.
Okay.
And then they would have to submit a report, so we keep a separate, I have them keep a separate account and a spreadsheet. so
Okay,
that
we
they
can get that after
I can
early
get,
voting
yeah,
is
I can
done
get that
for
to
this
you.
year.
I can get you
That-
last year's when we used it, and I can also, yes, get it this year, because they have to submit an expenditure report to the state of
Okay,
Connecticut.
that's fine. All right, thank you. All right, there is a suggested motion.
That the town council of North Branford, the town of North Branford, authorizes town manager Michael P. Downs to execute any and all documents necessary to receive early voting grants from the Secretary of State.
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Diamond, seconded by Counselor Goad. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Okay, citizen statements and petitions.
Modern Orchard. I have a quick question. Maybe Anthony and maybe Franny can answer. When the ambulance barn was built, it was not meant to be occupied, right? It was a toned response, I believe. Was
It
that
was
the?
volunteer at that time, yeah.
So again, the building was never meant to be used as heavily as it is now. I think we have to really look hard, get that thing back up. I mean, the guys are doing a wonderful job. That ambulance, both ambulances, and even the third one sometimes are going 24/7. Now, we had probably a projected life expectancy on the original thought about that building. It sounds like we far exceeded it. It sounds like the building's aging quicker than we probably realize. And again, I think we have to prepare for that in the future. So I think you really have to look at the building, which was never meant to be occupied, only, it's just like the firehouses. The tone goes out, and the people respond and roll the ambulance. Now it's staffed 24/7 with, 6, 8 people on staff at all times. Four people.
Two crews, yeah.
And so again, I think as you look at the expenses for this building, look hard and fast and say, well, is this a patch job? Or is this going to extend the life of this building? Because we need the building, we need the service. You've identified a lot of deficiencies. Now it's time to really knuckle under and get the building back up into better shape. because we're using a part-time billing 24/7 now. And we got to look at it and see what's got to be done. So again, yes, money's being put in maybe, but don't patch it up, fix it up, and make it a 24/7 billing for the safety crews. Now, the question was, how do you know what the retirement age is? Well, I can tell you from experience, when you retire, your honey-do list goes from weekends and nights to 24/7. That's how you know what the retirement age is.
I am not retired.
And again, I want to thank you all. You know, we've got one more meeting to get through, however you want to say it. You've done a wonderful job. I'm proud of this town. I love this town. And, I mean, you guys, you give it all. And probably, and I really am sad to see the trash talk you guys all had to endure, when all you were doing is what you have to do, budget the town. And you've done it, again, successfully. I think other towns could learn from us, and thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Cliff. Any other citizen statements? Okay. There will be no executive session. We already took care of that matter on there. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye, Captain.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.